Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to their cold cast. And mixing it up for you, that's right, I'm willingly casting a ZvZ. This was not a submitted game. This is a random game I picked up off of drop.sc. In the bottom left, we have KOWALSKI from StarCraft Swarm. I'm going to assume that's his clan tag. He faces off against Antonio Brown Clan 11. It looks like Antonio Brown, so AB. You know what I'm saying? AB. Anyway, hopefully this guy doesn't have any awful weird drama that Bill Belichick has to talk about at every single interview for the rest of his life. And just trying to give you guys some good variety. We're playing on Zen. ZvZ is kind of a weird matchup because ZvZ is always one of the tougher ones when it comes to walling off. Zerg players need to be able to get out. You don't really have anything like force fields. You don't have anything like the hold position zealot and a choke most of the time. You can kind of do it with the queen, but you know, the Zerg players like to keep all their queens on one control group, so things do get tricky when you're doing that and your opponent is trying to send Zerglings into your base. So most of the time, whenever I get to cast professional ZvZ, I get the pleasure of seeing that the production tab looks exactly the same for both players, and in this case it still does. Oh my god, is someone making this game interesting? Pog, thank you so much. The $5 donation by Jaron Rivian for a Turkey Hill breakfast sandwich.
Thank you. Turkey Hill breakfast sandwich.
I'd much prefer to go to Wawa, but they don't have any of those in Los Angeles, so feels bad, man. Thank you very much for your $5. I appreciate that. So let's see. Usually, strategies in this matchup will diverge once you get to like that lair stage, because sometimes you get, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Terran versus Terran in a way, where someone almost always will go for like the roach base style and someone will almost always go for like that spire style, and the spire style did fall off a good bit once Zerg players realized how broken parasitic bomb is, and you're like, whoa Nathan, are you bounce running? No, I'm talking about mirror matchup. It's ZvZ. A lot of ZvZ matchups, you know, we got to see stuff gets funny, stuff's kind of interesting, but it's super common and super normal to see when people try to do it, that parasitic bomb just rip mutas apart, because Mutalisks have 125 hit points, and Parasitic Bomb does, you guessed it, 120 damage and a massive area of effect. So it's very easy to kill a lot of Mutalisks if you are not careful on the defensive side of things. So third hatches are going to go down for both players. Speed timings are pretty much the same. If you want to submit your replays, send an email to nathaniastv@gmail.com. If you want to advertise it as like a Will Cheese fail type game, please do. If not, that's okay. Try not to put any spoilers or any information about the game. Keep it to 1v1s, ladder games. I do not want your 4 versus 4 game. I do not want your custom game 1v1 where you got blazed and then you and your friend decided to see how awful of a game you could make for me to cast, because it's better when the pain is unintentional. You know what I'm saying? Multiple spines. Does he think he's about to get attacked? What's he concerned about? He saw the third base, but he builds 2 spines and lets them finish? The Baneling Nest is similarly timed. We have +1 roach attack coming in for KOWALSKI, but he doesn't have a lair, so it's not like he's going to do a speed roach timing, right? Am I crazy? I feel like he doesn't need this at the moment. I don't think he needs it. I'm not entirely sure I understand why he built these 2 spines when he did, but congratulations, KOWALSKI. Your opponent played himself. Yeah, 11 just has 30 drones to 37. Well, this is just terrible. This is just, oh, there you go. You're going to lose another drone because he's making the roach warren. And this is, oh my goodness, look at the income. Look at the income, dude. Extra couple hundred minerals a minute. Bro, that's the difference in like 5 years. That's the difference between a Maserati and a Hyundai, you know? All right, KOWALSKI. He's got some Banes coming up. Is KOWALSKI the name of that penguin from that meme series or whatever? I feel like I only know the name KOWALSKI because of that stupid freaking penguins from Madagascar or some shit. Ooh! Yeah. I think KOWALSKI, I don't know. I'm going to take a guess and say KOWALSKI wins this game. The Zerglings are going to kill the queen. They're going to kill this third base. There are no more Banelings. For poor 11. Skipper, Rico, Kowalski, and Private. Why do you know the names of all those penguins? Why do you know that? I'm gonna keep my eye on you, Density. No one should know the names of all those penguins except your 5-year-old daughter. You like penguins. Well, and I guess that's fair. Never mind. I retract my statement. Penguins are pretty cool. Oh my god, these Bane hits though. Hey, it's all inconsequential. Both players lost all their lings to a few Banelings from the other. Oh, oh, and then that Baneling just turned around. He said, "Kill me, kill me." All right, 11's gonna remake the third. Why don't you? Why don't I know the name of all the penguins? You know what? I'll try to keep that in mind. I'll try to remember. Skipper, Rico, Kowalski, Private. Skipper, Rico, Kowalski, Private. Skipper, Rico, Kowalski, Private. Skipper, Rico, Kowalski, Private. I'm just going to try to remember this, guys. Okay, apparently this is very important. It will be on the test. Yo, how about these roach skins, though, dog? These look freaking sweet, don't they? Don't these look badass? I love this roach skin. These are the remote control roaches. Uh-oh. He's got a Viking hitting the Overlord. Oh, look at that. That +1 attack. The Overlord's going to die so fast. And then the roach shows up. Oh, no. No! The roaches are going into the third base of Kowalski. Does he have enough to defend against this? 11 is getting all up in his minutes to get the +1 attack on those roaches, which is going to allow him to take those roaches out in one less hit than normal. Kowalski also has the +1 attack. Those roaches are also going to be able to take out his opponent's roaches in one less hit than normal. The roaches are beginning to vomit all over each other. Standard ZvZ, ladies and gentlemen. But I do believe Kowalski has a roach count lead. He's been economically ahead pretty much the entire game. Now let's also not forget he's got defender's advantage. And his roach speed is going to kick in 20 seconds, which is going to make it very hard for any roaches of 11s to run away. You will not be able to retreat against speed roaches. He's actually going to get caught up on the mineral choke point as well. Not ideal considering that Kowalski has a fully saturated third. Meanwhile, 11's third. Well, I don't know if you can really call this a third base. You know, looks more like a Turkey Hill egg and cheese sandwich, if you know what I'm saying. I think, yeah, you just build some Ravagers and go kill him now, right? He's got so many roaches. So many roaches. So many roaches, so many Ravagers. And he's got the money to reinforce. Maybe flood Speedlings in behind this? I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. I have no idea. ZvZ, build more roaches than the opponent. Now, if people are like, yo, I don't like Zerg versus Zerg, it's boring. People just slam roach balls against each other. You know what's more fun than slamming balls against each other? Just think about it. The roach's attack is called acid saliva, which means it's literally spitting all over the enemy. I know some of you are into that. But yeah, it's literally just a giant puke party. When people fight roaches versus roaches, they are all just literally vomiting all over each other endlessly until they die. And if you try to visualize that every time you watch two roach balls slam against each other, I think it makes it a little bit more bearable. Look at them. Just imagine that you're at your college fraternity house when these roaches are fighting. Yeah, I do have some lings doing a nice little backstab, by the way, in the natural. That's cute. You're going to lose all your drones, bud. You got to send some roaches back. You got to send some roaches back. Oh, I thought he was counterattacking. He just accidentally rallied his overlords over there. Watch. Watch, there you go. There's the initiate. You ever play Left 4 Dead? Yeah, suddenly roach versus roach fights are a lot more interesting, aren't they? Or more disgusting. I guess it really just depends on what kind of parties you went to in college. It's funny because the lings take forever to kill them because the drones have +1 armor. Those zerglings are like, die, die, die. It's like, I'm stabbing you to death. Yes, but your knife hasn't been sharpened in about 100 years, sir. I'm stabbing you to death. No, you don't understand. That's a lot of roaches. Roaches are probably the worst kissers in all of StarCraft. I agree, Plague Bird. I agree. I mean, they literally just vomit nonstop. So even if they're not in the middle of a fight, like presumably the acid saliva, if they stick their tongue in your mouth, like your mouth is gone. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if they probably accidentally decapitate each other when they're mating. Like they don't even realize that they're getting sloppy, and then yeah, just melts your girlfriend's head off, or boyfriend's head off, or other appendages off. Honestly. I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm really glad we had the time to have this little chat. Just you and me. And whoever poor bastard watches this. But with that many Ravager Biles, he's not going to be able to move up the ramp. That's not happening. He does still have the economic advantage. He has the 4th base to spread the drones out on. Even though the worker count is similar, that main base is going to be mining out, so these workers are going to be less efficient for him. Being able to send the extra workers to the other expansion is huge. He's going for a little bit of a flank arena while he moves in. He's got hitting him from the left. He's hitting him from the south. He's hitting him from the west and the south. And now getting a little bit of a concave, pushing 11 back towards his 3rd base is KOWALSKI. Use those biles. Make it rain on this. Oh my goodness. Don't move command, though. Do not move command. Ugh. Bleeding out quite a few of his roaches, but they both got so much money, and he's just going to take a big slugfest fight right in front of that base one more time. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. You've almost got it. 11 does have the carapace advantage. He did finish his +2 carapace, so his roach has been a little bit more tanky. Once you get through the roach core, the soft underbelly of the Ravagers prevents themselves, and like a filet mignon, that meat just melts right in your acid saliva. KOWALSKI is on the back foot trying to move through a choke point, but he does get a little bit stuck. Of course, good God, when you have Ravagers, don't move through this point. God, just put the biles in that spot. Yeah, what are you gonna do? That's literally, never go through this. If your opponent has Ravagers, what are you doing? What's going on? What are you thinking? I want to love this map, I really do. I just don't like the entrance to the natural. All right, here we go. Another little fight. Roaches puking on each other. Didn't he get a lurker den? Yeah. So KOWALSKI has a lurker den. All he needs to do is survive, hold on, push him back, and he's going to have that tech advantage. He's building hydras. It's time to get the lurkers. Problem is you do need a hive to get the good upgrades for the lurker. The adaptive talons that lets them burrow instantly, and the extended range. I'm just going to call it extended thermal lance. So the lurker has 2 upgrades now. Oh, look at that. His building lurkers are blocking his ramp. Ay, 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 Rangers. So the hive is on the way. Good. Because the lurker den has 2 upgrades. One makes the lurkers burrow instantly. The other one, seismic spines, makes the lurker go from 8 range to 10. So the lurker by default now has 8 range. It takes 2 seconds to burrow. It's got 8 range. It can go up to 10 range, and it can burrow instantly if you get those hive upgrades. But it's really dangerous to take these fights without it. Let's see what he can get done. The mobility of the lurkers is greatly limited, but he's going to be able to take this fight with it. The overseers, he's not targeting the lurkers down, but 11 does have still a pretty sizable army. And this is where the tricky part comes in, right? Boom. Without the ability to quickly burrow and unburrow, your lurkers just die so fast. And that's a very expensive loss he just had. So 11 doing fantastic. KOWALSKI not really taking advantage of his economic lead in a way that matters. He's just not getting it done. Beautiful corrosive biles placed onto the lurkers. I believe both players have the same upgrades. Yes, they do. And they're just making it rain on each other right now. Oh, looks like KOWALSKI may have been able to tip the scales a little bit closer to his favor. He is giving chase. Gets another one of the Ravagers. He's picked off a few of the Ravagers. If he gets onto the drones, it's going to be very difficult because this game has been so close economically. But 11, not only was he behind in workers prior to this, he's going to remain behind in workers. We have lurkers finishing up for 11, but are they going to be out in time? Hydras are going to spawn into a world where they die immediately. Look at that focus fire down on the morphing lurkers. Only one of them is going to be able to finish. Burrow, lurker, burrow, save your friends. I don't think it's going to be enough though. GG is called, and KOWALSKI wins. You thought I was going to say analysis, didn't you? That's right. Go f yourself.